The following is a presentation of the Retro Network.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Thrift Store Horde, episode 6. Jason here, and again, I don't know where to point. Adam is here, and Kevin.
I'm here too.
Kevin sporting the no shave November there. I see some stubble.
Or lazy.
I'm freshly shaved just for the show.
And I gotta say, speaking of how you look just for the show, you must be the number one Ghostbusters fan I know. Just look at that shirt and that hat. If there was something going on, like a contest, some sort of limited edition, you would be my top pick to obtain that item. Just look at this.
Kind of you. We got to spread that goodwill around and spread the word. I'm a little thirsty over here. I could go for a drink. Yeah.
A cool, refreshing one.
Yeah.
Maybe something cooler than the other drinks are.
I still think it's a hoax, but yeah.
Seems likely, right? It's like, yeah, somebody's just messing with everybody, but whatever.
I have seen some pictures at the actual movie theaters of people walking out with little bottles of Ecto Cooler. So I don't know. I'm always skeptical about it and not releasing it to stores. I mean, come on, what are you doing, man?
In the meantime, I'll make do with these. So, if I don't end up with a little plastic bottle with a new label, it's all good.
Yeah. I actually have, I think, close to me. Yes. Here you go.
Oh,
there's
yeah.
the lunch bag. Mm-hmm. Got that from RD.
Yep. RD will hook you up.
Pack. Sure. Yep. Oh gosh. Come on, Coke. Give us the Ecto Cooler back in stores. Give it to us in the freestyle machine. That's my idea. Put it in the freestyle.
Not a bad idea.
We could do like Ecto Sprite. We could do Ecto Coke. We could just Ecto everything, man. It would be great. So
they just brought Orange High C back to McDonald's. There's actually a marketing campaign for it. So yeah,
one of my favorites as well. All right, well, here we are. We're talking about Ecto Cooler because we can. We've actually we're extending our time limit here for Thrift Store Horde. So we have extra time. We have all the time in the world to tell you about all the thrift store goodies that we've found lately. Slim pickings lately for me.
Oh.
I've got a few things here and there, but not what I've been used to over the last couple months. And maybe I'm spoiled from RetroCon still.
I spoiled myself there. So.
Yeah, I've had a RetroCon hangover going on a couple months now, but we've got some things to show you that we found recently, and we want to end our session today with something that we found at the thrift store, like our most valuable find that we've either kept or we've sold, just some ridiculous thing that we've made a lot of money on. We want to tell you about. I've got a little remnant of what I found. From what I gather, you guys have gone ahead and let people on eBay reap the benefits of your find.
A couple times.
Yeah. So, that's part of the whole game. That's part of the whole digging. You find something that you're like, "Ooh, do I want to keep this or do I want to make some quick cash off of it?" So anyway, let's start. We'll just have a couple rounds of what we found lately. Kevin, go ahead.
All right. So this was at a book sale that I went to lately. I bought it for $1. But I'm very curious about it. It looked interesting. If any listeners, watchers, viewers ever go to the Collecting Candy website and just see what he's done for packaging and the history of it and all, I found the packaging source book.
Oh, what?
Yeah, and it's all sorts of just, here's all the packaging, here's the art, here's little descriptions of it and all. And I mean, this book is long before he got started with this. Exotic cigarettes, like Camel. But I mean, just the details, the descriptions of it. And I mean, I know from Collecting Candy that a lot of that stuff is he'll go ahead and do, the Goldbergs or like shows taking place within a certain time frame. This book could be used to recreate some of these things. You know, we got different coffee brands and all the art of it. I mean, I just love digging through, finding the old art. Some of it, you know, reminds you of like your grandparents' house, when you were growing up, places you visited, just all sorts of things. So, I mean, how could you not want to buy these vegetables? So it was just so much crazy stuff. Okay, that's what I was looking for. Sweet drinks, Nesquik.
Oh wow,
yeah.
Old school.
Yeah, so I mean, I just love stuff like this, the history of it, the stuff that's thrown away, you know, that no one cared about, but now brings back memories. I'm debating taking this for Thanksgiving or Christmas and just leaving it out to see my family flip through and go, oh my God, we had this. I haven't thought of this in 40 years, you know, whatever. I think it'd just be a fun conversation starter. So yeah, that was $1 just in a random box of books at a book sale. No one else but me looking for something like that.
Right. One of my favorite things is the wacky packages, the trading cards, the faux products. You know, I think I have a few, or did have a few up here. Oh yeah, the grape nuts. You know,
Nice.
Stuff like that. They do the actual little pieces now, but I love all that old advertising and marketing stuff, labels. I mean, you see that all the time. You know, some of that could be rare too. You find in an antique mall or something, and you see it in that book, and you're like, ooh, back to the 30s, 40s, whatever. This might be something to turn for a profit. You know,
if I found enough of them, something I think would be fun would be to decorate my kitchen in only vintage packaging.
That would be
even
awesome.
Even I'm taking like the newer items out and putting it into the vintage packaging, leaving that out just to mess with people.
Sometime I'll do a video of my display cabinet that I did on just layered in comic books, and the inside of the cabinet is all just advertisements. It's awesome to look at and put it all together, and just get those advertisements from the old comics. Man, I love looking at that. All right, Adam, what you got over there?
All right. Well, I actually found some books too lately. My Goodwill, for whatever reason, like I'm just hoping that they've been slow to restock, but my VHS shelf has a lot of empty space on it these days. I've bought a lot of them, but I haven't bought that much. And so I'm just like, where'd they go? So I've been looking in the book section, and this is actually the second Full House Stephanie novel that I have picked up. These are just a fun idea. It's just like, yeah, you just take a character from a TV show and they get an adventure that's not related. You know, it's just like all the characters, but they're doing their own thing. It's not an episode.
I've got one of those. Yep.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, I found one.
Also, yesterday I found these Maggie Simpson. Okay. These are books from 1991, all right? That they're kids' books. I mean, they're just basically, you know, this one's telling you about counting, right? So then you see, you know, there's 10 kids in the yard, you know, all that kind of thing.
God, look at that art.
Fun.
Yeah, it's wonderful. But the thing is, I remember seeing this advertised in Simpsons Illustrated, and I was like, I don't understand why the Simpsons would try to appeal to little kids, you know? But when you read it, it's actually Maggie Simpson is Matt Groening's sister that he based the character of Maggie on, but she is a children's book author, it tells you in here.
Oh, cool.
Oh, fun.
Keeping up with her.
No, fun.
Yeah. Last one real quick here, though. This is the one that was most exciting to me that I found the other day. We're coming up on the holiday season.
Yes.
All right. So this is so cool. I love novelizations, right? We love reading them because they give you some deleted scenes. This opens with a deleted scene of Kevin having an argument with Uncle Frank about how to work the VCR. And then Uncle Frank banishing him and not letting him watch the movie after Kevin helps him set it up. And so you remember that scene, right? In the bedroom, Uncle Frank won't let me watch a movie, right? And there's like, well, if Uncle Frank says no, then it must be really bad, you know, like, so that type of thing. And so this actually gives you that scene is in this book, among others. So that was just like a gift. Like immediately there's a deleted scene. I was super excited about that. So always what you look forward to when you find those.
That is fun. I actually just started an article today comparing the movie script to the movie for Home Alone. And
cool.
there are some deleted scenes you can find out there. One where Uncle Frank pantses Kevin up in the stairwell. It's weird. And there's other little differences like that with Uncle Frank, but that is definitely not in the script. Like a
not even. Wow.
Yeah. So that's interesting that you found that. I've got the Home Alone 2 novelization that I have not gone through yet, but I will have to someday. That's very fun.
More of the bird lady's backstory.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're all just dying to hear that.
Yeah.
Speaking of novelizations, so I picked up a few lately. Here's a callback to a couple episodes ago. Remember, I found one that was the yellow border.
Yeah.
Adam, you have the white one. I found the white one, so I got the set now.
Fantastic. Wow.
That was just like, oh, that's funny. And I had to think about it for a minute to remember which one that I had. So that's there. One that just leaped off the shelf, and I'm trying to be punny. I saw this Quantum Leap book,
Timely.
Very sad that Dean Stockwell just passed away recently, and I was like, oh, I got to pick it up. Got some great art on the cover, and I think I have another one. There was maybe 4 or 5 or so in a series that they did with Quantum Leap, so I thought that was really fun. I found the Marvel X-Men guidebook.
Oh, I haven't seen that in forever.
From, let's see, 1992, September of 1992. So you've got some fun illustrations in here.
Yeah.
The pages are really yellowed, but all of your X-Men characters and all about your X-Men characters in here. So that was really
awesome
fun to
that
pick
it's
up.
based on the comics and not the animated series that was coming out that year. That's so cool.
Yeah, so some great artwork in here. Let's see, the author is Dwight Zimmerman. I don't know who the illustrator is on all these, but I just started flipping through it and saw the illustrations. I was like, this is great. And then one other thing that I love to collect, I've got 3 of the 4 now. I've got the Batman Forever frosted mugs, but I also have 3 of the 4 Flintstones frosted mugs that were sold at McDonald's. My wife actually, this harkens back to her time when she was actually working at McDonald's, so she loves those too.
Oh,
but
neat.
I found a storybook, the movie storybook for the Flintstones that I thought would look great, kind of in the background behind my mugs here, displayed in my cabinet. And this is all color pages, taken from the movie. So
yabba dabba doo. I got a copy right here.
But yeah, for $1 and hardback, I'm not a huge fan of the movie, but when you got the mugs, you want something to kind of go with it. Like Adam, you're always trying to match up VHS tape, so that's the books that I found recently. So, Kevin, what else you got for us?
All right, I'm gonna double back here for a second. This wasn't my pick, but because you both brought it up, movie novelizations. So this isn't my pick, but I have a couple here I found recently. Steve Martin, The Jerk.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
never seen that one.
Yeah.
My Science Project.
Wow.
Which I haven't seen that movie in probably 30 years, give or take. If I do remember it. I think if I recall, like every classroom in the school ends up being a portal to somewhere different, and they have to escape it and all. And then it's 2 movie novelizations in one book. But we have The Nightmares on Elm Street for Dream Master and The Dream Child.
Oof.
Oh, wow.
So it's beat up, but I don't care.
That's great. Those are worth some cash, that's for sure.
Speaking of things that are worth some cash, it's funny you mentioned that, Adam. Now, I don't know if either of you heard, but there's a new podcast that was talking about video stores and video rentals and VHS tapes and all. It's on some sort of retro network feed. It was very interesting, very good listen. So coincidentally, recently, I was bored and I was going through Craigslist and I see someone post 200 to 300 VHS for free. Please take them. So I contact. It's pretty much right in between where work is and where home is. So I'm like, all right. Contact him. He says, I'm flipping a house. I found these in the basement. I don't want them. Go ahead and take them. I'm going to just leave them on the porch. I won't even be here. Okay. So I show up and there's like dirt and dust and everything on top. I'm like, come on. I'm not taking these. But then I look and it's just the top layer and it's looking better. I filled my entire trunk, my back seat, and the passenger seat.
Awesome.
So now I'm going to have to clean some because I got like film and everything here. I'm going to have to take a wet wipe to or whatever. But boy, that's sealed though. Still. Almost like that was a conversation on that podcast.
Yeah.
Well, it says Goodwill Hunting and it's sealed. But there's no barcode on here because it's a sealed demo tape sent out to the video stores.
Wow.
Nice.
So even rarer.
Yeah.
One of these isn't good enough.
Oh no.
Scream 2.
Ooh.
Still sealed demo tape.
Wow.
So these are both going up soon. I just want to give it a wipe through, clean it up a little bit and all. And then unfortunately, some of them, the cases are long gone, you know? So you see a few and it's like, all right, it's random blockbuster movie. If someone, a collector, like one of us wanted it, we're going to want the case and everything too. You know, we don't want this. But it's not a whole lot of red spines for anything.
Huh.
Are either of you familiar with the Wizard Video? Giant big box horror.
Yeah, we have heard the name.
Specifically, Wizard Video, I Spit on Your Grave.
Whoa.
What?
Yeah. And it's clean. It's so clean. So Wizard came in the type of oversized box that things children can't watch came in. Like that was their VHS format, and they are rare. They are super rare to find now. Even a few years ago, I was at a convention and saw them for a minimum of $100 each, no matter what movie it was. But to have, like, movie's been re-released on different formats now. The movie itself is not rare. It's the fact that it's got that little Wizard Video logo right here, and it's their copy. There used to be a label up top too. That's long gone. Oh well. But I might see what I can get for this.
Yeah, well, I want to know the story of that basement now. I want to know, did this guy own a video store at some point? Did he just buy all the old stock? Like,
he absolutely did. There's a bunch in these cases, which are the rental cases. There's a bunch of promo stuff, but not like those were the two biggest ones. It's random ones you've never heard of and don't care. But there were also random video games just thrown in there too. So I'm going to call up my friend there that works at a used video game store and say, whatever you want for these.
You on that.
He might educate me on that. I'll be like, whatever. He's actually stuck there right now.
Okay.
But I'll say whatever you guys want for these, because I have no use for them. But there was a Mario and Duck Hunt in there. There was a Zelda thing in there and all. So I'm sure it was some random video rental place. I've not found a sticker on anything yet, because that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And if I find a sticker, I can track back who used to own it or whatever. In the area, and I'm curious if it's the same one, there was a video rental store that shut down and left everything in there for about 20 years.
Oh, wow.
I've heard such stories. Mickey of the Retro Network has such a story.
I happened to be walking by one day and I saw everything in there, but everything you can see is so sun-bleached and damaged from just sitting there unattended that it's probably worthless. But if stuff like this was in the back, could have still been something. So yeah, it's going to take me a while. There's a area where they are all at right now. It is neatly in there, but it is a mess. It's going to take me a while to go through.
We can't wait. I'll look forward to that in the future for sure. So if we're going to stay on videotapes for the moment, I've found a lot of great stuff lately, but the ones that always get me most excited are the interesting packaging, right? You were talking about the Wizard big boxes. This is another in a series of 3 that I currently have right now. I don't really care about the return of the man called horse, right? But this is a slipcase box. And these just fascinate me, like that. This is from 1982 that this video was released. And what's interesting is that it actually has a little sticker. I don't know if you can see that right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're both zooming in here.
Yeah. But basically, you know, we got $1 charge if tape is not rewound, and the face is just a very serious. So, but these are just great because it's also it's a 20th century, you know, Fox video release, and I'm used to the CBS Fox releases, so this is just something that's kind of special for me. But the other thing that's very hard to find, and I've had issues in the past with, you know, thrift shops being willing to sell me home recorded VHS, right? That's what everybody always wants. I actually just got some. I was on the Advent Calendar House podcast for an upcoming episode, got connected with the other guest on that episode, sent me some home recorded VHS of NBC and Fox shows in the 90s. Like, it's great, great stuff. But this one I had to pick up while I was in California. This is a little movie called Beetlejuice. Do you know about Beetlejuice? So this was fantastic. This is the craziest part. This is not the first time I've found a home recorded copy of Beetlejuice at, you know, a thrift store. You know, actually, and I have, you know, my official copy right here. So I've got that. But the best part about this, I put it in my VCR. I'm watching it. And all of a sudden, these interesting characters start coming up on the screen, and not characters from the movie, but foreign letter characters, because this is a Korean home video transfer. Somebody dubbed it, you know, copied it, must have rented it from their local Korean, you know, video store, which is where I grew up. That was very common, you know, Korean and Vietnamese video stores, all these different places. And so there's Pee-wee's Big Adventure, the trailer in Korean. Bright Lights, Big City, you know, there's a Steven Seagal movie in there, you know, like, I don't know which one, because when it comes up, I'm like, oh, I can't read it. And I'm very well versed in my Steven Seagal films. But anyway, that was just a very fun adventure to find that out there. And then when you watch Beetlejuice, it's just Beetlejuice in English, but they have the Korean subtitles across the bottom. But anyway, those are just some exciting VHS finds in my world.
Very nice. I actually picked up, several years ago, a James Bond DVD collection on eBay at a very, very cheap price. I'm like, what's going to be wrong with this? So I get it home, and all the menus are in Chinese.
Oh.
So I can tell which movie it is, but when you pop it in, you're like, what do I hit play?
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad they're on streaming, you know, pretty readily available now, so I don't have to do that anymore. But
You still have it?
I still do. Yeah. Yeah, why not? All right. Well, speaking of VHS tapes, I've got a couple I wanted to show you, but I wanted to ask you, how rare is it when you're finding VHS tapes, ones that you may want to pick up, and you find the like original inserts in with the VHS tape? I mean, that's rare unless you got some sealed copies like Kevin, right? I mean, I don't see that very often, if at all.
Almost never.
So, two VHS tapes that I picked up recently had some inserts inside. I'm not a big horror fan. I have seen this. So here's The Shining. This is a 1999 release, so fairly, you know, not recent, but after that. But
of course then,
inside is a little mini poster it's on cardstock. I'm assuming it came with the tape, but finding that in there, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. I wonder if it's like a reproduction of the original poster or something.
That's right. Yeah. And I don't see anything on the actual tape. You know, maybe there was something on the actual cellophane that had a sticker on there, free mini poster inside or something. But I thought that was cool to find. And then this was a big one for me to find. Garfield Christmas.
Keep going. I got a thing. Keep going though.
Inside, we have everyone's favorite Fat Cat is now on video cassette. And it's got their little you know, what tapes are out there. Here Comes Garfield is $13. Garfield on the Town, Garfield Goes to Hollywood. There's an advertisement for Garfield magazine, which I did not know existed. 19, I'm trying to see where what the year range for this, probably the early 90s. And then there was a little offer to send in to get 4 magazines right now. But I thought that was fun. Oh, they have some of the little Garfield figurines too up there, the PVC figurines. That was a thing at the time. 1991 it looks like. So having that in there, I was like, wow, it was great because this is a nice clean copy, and I love the Garfield specials, but to have those extra little inserts in there, I thought was pretty cool as well. So have you guys found any tapes like that with little inserts inside?
Go ahead, Adam, because I'm gonna tangent.
Oh yeah, well, it's so for me in particular, the ones that excite me the most, like I have like a still sealed copy of Austin Powers 2, like all that, The Spy Who Shagged Me. So I'm sure there's some inserts in there because it's got like labels on the front, on the plastic and all that stuff. But the ones that excite me the most is occasionally when I pick up one of these like big box VHS, right? I will actually find like an advertisement that has, let me see if it's here. Yeah, here it is right there. So this is like a whole listing of the entire releases that they have. So now I can, and I have photocopied it and blew it up to make a checklist. So I could be like, okay, I have this one, I have this one, I have this one.
Nice.
So that's actually always super exciting to me because that's what I got to know. I'm like, what's out there? How can I find it? Another one is, this actually came from an old issue of Reader's Digest, but it's the same kind of thing where you could sign up for a video club, and a lot of times that's what like the inserts have, like, hey, you can participate in our video library, build your own, that type of thing. So how about you, Kevin?
I still have childhood ones, Disney ones. If they had an insert, I just put them in the clamshell and kept them. The Michael Keaton Batman had like a little Warner's catalog or whatever in it, so I kept it in there. Finding them in the wild, not all on my own, but I do find stuff at work a lot that people shoved random things in there. Sometimes it's relevant, like the catalogs, the cases. Other times it's like, baseball cards, bookmarks, random stuff. But I am on the lookout for that stuff as well. To double back to Garfield, though, have either of you heard that apparently the newer DVD releases of Garfield, and if it re-airs for the Christmas special, it has been edited?
No, I didn't know
they
about
lost
that.
rights to some of the music in the episode.
Really?
So I don't know which one for sure because I'm trying to track this down. I just heard about it. But the rumor is the last time it aired and the most recent DVDs do not have one of the songs. They think it's the one that John's mom plays and they're all around the piano and then Garfield goes to sit with grandma by the window. Mm-hmm. Supposedly it's that song. They no longer have the rights to reproduce that song. So your VHS, old DVDs, Tip Top TV are it. Anything newer does not have that song anymore.
Interesting.
But
I guess that's why they had the specials on Tubi. I mean, when Garfield originally came to Tubi, it was called Garfield and Friends, but it was just the 3 main Well, no. It was all of the specials. I think there's like 9 of them or something.
Yep.
Not the Garfield and Friends show. And now it's just reversed. All they have is the show and none of the specials. So yeah. It's weird.
Because Binky the Clown, who's in the Halloween special, was on the Garfield Friends, is not owned by Jim Davis. So they can't do anything Binky the Clown, merchandise, anything. It's owned by CBS, even though it's on the Garfield show.
Wow.
Yeah, I went down a rabbit hole.
Hey, kid. I love Binky. Okay, well, we've gone through a couple rounds here. Let's talk about our most valuable finds that we've discovered at the thrift store. So, Kevin, tell us a little yarn about your find.
All right, I got one that I actually do have, but I got a story, and it'll be up to you too. So one I picked this up for $0.25, random paperback. 0008 meets Natman.
What?
So it is a James Bond parody. It is a Batman parody, and it is one in a series of these books. Author's name says Clyde Allison. I would not be shocked if that's an alias. It is a leisure book, quote, leisure book from 1966. It is adult. It is here's Natman's buxom young sidekick who has relations throughout the book.
Wow.
Well, it is flat out like no one would pick this up on their own except for its intended audience. And so I grabbed it. I was like, oh, it's a quarter. This looks funny. I'll read it one day. And I'm like, this is filthy. But then it's funny too. But then it's got actual good adventure scenes. I'm like, okay, this is totally something that just would have been under everyone's radar. But if you were already into James Bond or comics or you know, watching Adam West Batman as an adult for Yvonne Craig, you would love this. Then I look up and it's going for $8,200. And there's more in the series.
What?
But I enjoyed it so much I can't get rid of it.
Wow.
It's so stupid and so much fun I won't get rid of it.
Woo.
So I'm hanging on to this one. Now, for profitable, I will leave it up to you two and for a viewing audience.
200. Holy crap, man.
Yeah.
You just blew my pick out of the water.
Yeah. 80 to 100. Yep. Do you want the all ages story or a safe version of the adult story for Biggest Find Ever? They are two different stories.
I want to hear both. But if you can,
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Which one first then?
let's do the family one first.
Family friendly story first. Okay.
Yeah.
Going through t-shirts at local Salvation Army one day on a Saturday. And I'm just flipping through because I've sold a few clothing and things like that over the years, old wrestling shirts, rock shirts, stuff like that. And I see one and it's a Wu-Tang shirt. But it looks like one of those, if you guys remember, those middle of the mall kiosks that were absolutely copyright infringing. They just printed it an hour ago, t-shirt stands, and they would have, you know, like Rasta, Bart Simpson, and, you know, crap like that and all.
Yeah.
I was like, this thing's ridiculous. I remember those. This thing's worthless. Had a good laugh. I'm at home that night. It was a Saturday night. I know it was Saturday night. And I'm looking up. I'm like, these things are rare. These things sell. Okay, store's closed tomorrow. I have to work Monday. Try asking my partner at the time, like, can you go Monday? She could not. I was out of work at like 5 or 5:30. The store closed at 7. She's like, if it's there, just get it. So the whole day I'm just like, oh my God, I'm like just waiting. So got done with work, went right to the store, still right there. Same spot I saw it at. No one else had gone through during the day or whatever. Get it home. I was exhausted from the day at work. Didn't get to it. About a week later, she goes, wasn't this supposed to be worth money? Okay, true. So I think about for like 4 or 5. I go, you know, just as a joke, let's put it up. Let's see what happens. So I did a buy it now price, 2 hours. Took 2 hours to sell for $200.
Wow.
Nice.
If you ever see one of those, just grab it. I don't care the band. I don't care anything. Just grab it. And I probably could have gotten $250.
I
would
think of like all the Kiss concerts I've gone to, and I've waved off the bootleggers in the, you know, in the parking lot. They're like, "Hey man, $5. You know, you should have grabbed them, save them up." Yeah.
And it probably has to have a vintage feel to it. Like maybe they saw the tag and they're like, "Oh, that's an old Gildan tag or whatever. I'll go ahead for it." So that was a good one. Craziest one. I see a Craigslist ad. I think it's for comics. It says comics and assorted magazines must take all. I'm like, all right, whatever. So I'm thinking it's going to be like gaming magazines, Inquest, you know, something like that. You know, maybe some Star Logs, whatever. So yeah, there's some comics. There's a few. And then about 2 totes of smut. And not like Playboy smut, like the smuttiest of smut.
Wow.
And I was just like, hey, what the hell am I gonna do with all of this? You know, like I don't want to toss it in my recycling, but I'm that person that has all this in my recycling. I was like, should I burn it? Like I'm trying to think of some way to just get rid of all this. And I go, well, I got the email. Let me look up. I go, okay, it sells. You got to change your settings. You have to prove you're an adult. You have to only sell to adults. There's all this stuff you got to do. I'm like, all right, let me see what happens. So I waited till kid was in bed and I spread them all out. And I started doing, okay, this is all the same title, April, May, June. Okay, it's all together. Those are the months, not the girls' names. So I started putting them all together and then be like, okay, I only have like 3 of this, but it's all the same actress on the cover. I'll bundle all those together. So I did bundles of like 3 or 4, put them all up on eBay. And like 1 or 2 sold here and there. I'm like, all right, it's worth keeping up there. I'll see what happens. So I'm in the shower one day, and all of a sudden my wife at the time comes running in there. She goes, "What's happening?" And the phone won't stop going off. Ding, 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 ding. We called it a runner. It was someone that went through my entire eBay store and bought all of it.
Oh, wow.
All of it.
Oh, wow.
So I'm looking it up because, I know who I'm shipping it to now. So I look it up. I'm like, this guy's in LA. And I start Googling some more. Apparently he's a producer. That's his collection. And it's well known in Hollywood circles that this guy's trying to mass a collection of everything that ever existed. That's his hobby. So he saw my listings, might need only 1 out of the 3 or 4. Price was good. He's making money in LA, bought them all. I had to lie to the post office and say it was media mail because magazines can't ship that way. Lied to them. Oh yeah, it's a bunch of books going to LA. Yep, that's all that it is. Just so I could get the cheaper media mail rate. He was happy with my packaging and everything for it and the way it showed up and all. Went and bought everything left.
Wow.
So he cleared me out of all of it. $2,000.
Wow. Wow.
Now, I don't want to have all that in my house again because it took a while to get rid of it and I had to like hide it and everything. But if I'm at a yard sale and find anything like that again, I'm grabbing it. For that profit potential, I'll figure it out. I'll hide in a closet or something.
No kidding.
Hide under something. For that amount of money, I'm grabbing it. So I'd like to find that one again, just to have that cash.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, we got Adam back. There you go. All right, he just finished up with his $2,000 story about getting rid of all the smut.
Yeah. Woo.
So what do you got?
Video stores in business all those years, and people still want it elsewhere. So yep, it's in demand.
All right, so let's hear your story there, Adam.
All right. Well, yeah, I have 2. I have a story of success for the valuable find and a story of failure. So I will share this with you. So the first one I will tell you is, so I used to live in this small town. We had one thrift store and I was their best customer. Obviously, I was in there all the time. And so one day I went in and bought a few VHS tapes and I get up to the counter and I look behind where they were doing their sorting and I see, oh, there's something looks very, very familiar to me from my childhood. Oh, looks like, some Ghostbusters might like to hang out in this firehouse. So it was a very nice real Ghostbusters firehouse from Kenner, everybody's coveted play set, from the 80s. It was just everybody's favorite. I was like, oh, is that one for sale yet? They're like, yeah, it's $1. I was like, I will take that. Thank you. So
Wow.
I got that. I took it home. I kept it in my room, for a few weeks. And then my room was so crowded, my office of collectibles. I said to myself, I bet there's somebody out there that would actually put this on display and use it, and all this stuff. And I'm like, great. Yeah, I'm going to sell it up there. I'll probably make a couple $100, And so I put it up there. It's all about timing, right? It's about when it's in demand. So this was like in an off year. There wasn't any Ghostbusters nostalgia or anything happening. And if I remember correctly, I think I got like $100 for it. And like $1 to 100 is good. But if I had held on to it till today, that would be worth, so it's the kind of thing where I was just like, man, I should have maybe waited that one out. And I just would have loved to still have it today, like I had one I got from a garage sale as a kid that disappeared years ago as well, so that was one of those things where I was like, just don't get antsy, about selling, it's like maybe if somebody makes you an offer, but don't get crazy. But on the other side of this, same thrift store, they used to put just like these boxes of toys out in front of the door, like just like, get your kids to take these toys type thing, right? So I'm digging around in there and I found this still sealed box of My Little Pony mini figurines. And if I remember correctly, I think it was from like 1987. And they had written, unfortunately, on it, they wrote 50 cents in Sharpie on the package.
No.
I hate when they do that. But I got it. And I was like, well, this is cool. I mean, it's still sealed. I mean, and I look around, there's another one. Okay, there's two of these. All right, cool. So for $1, I got these two vintage My Little Pony mini things, right? So I that was something where I'm just like, yeah, this is definitely not for me. I don't want to give them to my daughter. I don't need her to, there is value here, I'm sure. And so much like Kevin's story, I put those up on eBay. And immediately, within an hour and a half, like people are bidding against each other on it, going back and forth. Then I start getting private messages. All right.
Ooh.
So this one gal says, I will give you $200 right now for each of them. I will give you $400 for these. These things are valuable. And I was like, whoa, okay. But somebody already bid on it. She's like, I know, that's my friend. She's trying to get it. I'm trying to buy one for each of us. And so then I had to contact the bidder and I was like, is this legit? She's like, yeah, that's my friend. She was trying to get it for me. So I'll just back off if you just want to cancel the auction, and then she'll buy it. So I was like, wow. It's like they were, collaborating in it together. So like these little, 50 cents I paid got $400 out of these My Little Ponies. And I was just like, they're like, yeah, they're pretty rare. They're like, I don't even see, I was looking on eBay today. I was like, do these still exist? I was like, they're not even there. Like they don't come around that often. So My Little Ponies, guys.
It's funny you mentioned that.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
My Little Pony is no joke. Let me tell you.
yeah.
So my story, this has been about a month or so ago. This is right before RetroCon. I'm in Goodwill, and I always look at the glass case up front just to see what's in there, because sometimes it's legit stuff that needs to be behind a glass case. And there was two boxes, a box full of My Little Pony vintage figures, dolls, whatever you want to call them. I was like, all right, I know, and I think they're asking $25 for it. I said, you're probably, there's some money in there. Next to it is another box filled to the brim with coloring books. And I was like, I don't know if coloring books sell, and it was $25. I ended up buying it. I was like, because I did a quick eBay and I saw some were going for as much as $10. I was like, whoa, okay. And I was like, well, I'll take a chance, because there's tape over it too. So I couldn't like go through there and see if there were, colored in. Some of that people don't care about. Some of them want the fresh ones, like right off the Toys R Us shelves.
Oh.
So I went for it. $25. There was 39 books in there. Some were My Little Pony. Some were She-Ra.
Hey.
Remember these books that were the
Yeah, you just add water onto it, and the colors appear. Yeah.
Maybe this isn't the one. This was a marker book. There's also The World of Golden Girl, which was a knockoff by Happy House Publishing. I had no idea this existed. Some of those in there for the Golden Girl. Also, let's see what else was in there. Care Bears. There were some just random coloring books. Most of them were My Little Pony. So I paid a little over 50 cents a book, and I've sold 2 lots of that. I think it was 8 for one. Let's see, was there 8 in one set, and then maybe 10 in another set. So far, I'm up to I think $275.
Yeah.
And I still have not sold these yet. I have not listed them all. Those ones were not colored in. They still had the Toys R Us stickers on them. So these were like fresh, man, like right out of the store. And they sold like that.
I know someone that would go for those Golden Girl ones.
Okay, well, we can work out a deal. But no, I thought that was just amazing. You would think that the figures would be, something hot, but to sell, and again, with some of the stuff that I see I'll ask top dollar for, assuming that I'm going to get a offer, and we'll negotiate a price somewhere in between. But no offer, just boom, right like that. And some of them were like $10 a piece. So coloring books, man, if you can find those, and I think a lot of it has to do with seeing those Toys R Us stickers on there. People like to see those on there, and if they're not colored in, and they'll pay some pretty decent money for coloring books. So
Thrift store is already closed.
I'm
I
sorry.
won't go look now.
Okay.
I know my thrift store has coloring books. I never thought to look at them.
Yeah, and typically you just don't find it. This was like we had a Toys R Us here in town for the longest time, and maybe somebody bought a bunch back in the day for giving to their granddaughter or something, and never got around to it. We'll just give them the goodwill. They made their 25, and I've made 10 times that.
That's how you do it.
That is how you do it. The other one that I just sold finally, just totally random. There's this bin of like party supplies and stuff that they have at Goodwill, and I looked in there and I saw the Thundercats logo. I was like, what in the world is this? And I pulled it out. It's one of those grow figures that you put in the water and it grows, and it was Lion-O, still on the card. And I paid, I think, 69 cents for it. And the original Kmart sticker was on there. At auction, I was looking because I couldn't even find the thing to like price it. It was at one of like Hake's auctions or one of those places. One it sold for $100 mint on card, and it was mint. And this one was not mint, but I ended up making, I think, $50 off of that. So I turned 69 cents into 50. And it was just totally random. Like, wow, how random can you get for not even a real action figure, just one of those, ones you'd probably find at the checkout line.
Yeah, that's how I felt about Golden Girls. We just saw that was like the pharmacy version of She-Ra, right? You'd find those figures at the pharmacy. They weren't even at Toys R Us, like
that was at your mom and pop place, and not Hallmark or someplace,
Exactly,
anyway.
Yeah.
So that was fun, man. That was fun hearing the stories, and I'm sure there's some other ones that we can tell, along the way and everything.
Yeah, I did have one little thing here. The Ghostbusters, they're known for cleaning up the town, right? That's one of the songs for the first film. Well, luckily, thanks to my local Goodwill, now I can clean up the town with my very own vintage Dustbuster.
There you go.
Okay.
Gosh, I would have grabbed it too.
Works.
Oh, nice. Still works.
I was so excited. It's got the charger and everything to mount it. Like, just think, you remember just seeing this around your house, right? Everybody's house had a Dustbuster somewhere, and I'm so excited to add this to my collection of vintage apparel or vintage items of various uses.
Hey, just dust the top of your VHS tapes on display.
Exactly. Yeah.
I've broken a couple of those.
It makes me want to start collecting everything that was in the window of Back to the Future Part 2, right? Remember when they had like the almanac and the Roger Rabbit doll and all the different stuff? There was a Dustbuster in there, just
that would be cool.
Yeah. Take it all to RetroCon, put it on display.
There we go.
Every once in a while, they have that Spaceballs themed table with all the Spaceballs merchandise, which I just love to stare at. But how cool would that be? That would be awesome.
Yeah, you should do that.
All right. Well, I think that's it for this episode of Thrift Store Horde. We sure do appreciate everybody tuning in. Make sure you are subscribed to us. We're trying to get a video out at least each month. It just depends on what we find at the thrift store and the time that we have. So hopefully we'll get one in for December. And I shopped at the thrift store for Christmas. I don't know if you guys do, but
yeah.
I mean, it's fun to give people vintage stuff. Like last year, I found a couple tins from the 90s, like Coke tins, and different Nabisco or something had like a tin. and it has like 1992 on it or something, and people are like, "Where'd you find this?" You know, you stuff a little some goodies in there, and it makes a fun gift. So the thrift store is a fun place to shop for Christmas. You wouldn't think that, but anyway, in the description, I did want to say, make sure you subscribe to all 3 of our individual channels as well. There's links there, and I know Kevin is doing some comic openings and other things on his channel. Adam, you've got some fun footage from VHS tapes and all kinds of things there. So make sure you subscribe to our individual channels as well. But obviously, we want you to subscribe to TRN TV so you get the next Thrift Store Horde episode. So, Kevin, Adam, always a pleasure. Very fun. Thank you guys for joining me. And that's it for this time. We'll see you next time.